I'm going to call the meeting to order, please. And 2.1, adoption of the agenda for the July 10, 2018 regular meeting of council. Motion, please. Salt and Torgerson. That the agenda for the July 10, 2018 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented. Any amendments? All in favor? Carried. Agenda item 3.1, which is the adoption of the minutes of the previous regular council meeting. Recommendation that the minutes of the June 26, 2018 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented. Motion, please. Reimer and Torgerson. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 3.2, adoption of the minutes of the previous special meeting of council. Recommendation that the minutes of June 28, 2018 special meeting of council be adopted as presented. Okay, and Torgerson and Salt. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 5.1, unfinished business. 2018 EBCM convention, meetings with ministers and provincial government staff. And Ms. Shepherd, you wanted to make a comment as to when it's required?
I have to have my request in to UBCM no later than Friday at end of day, so 4 p.m.
July 14?
Yes.
Okay. And
13th, sorry.
Oh, the 13th, yes. Okay. So Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure is one for sure. And I believe the Minister of Energy was another one. And Councillor Torgerson?
None at this time, Your Worship.
Okay. Okay, and Councillor Blanchette, you'll come forward with it. Councillor Reimer?
I don't have any particular ones. I think the Ministry of Transportation one will take on just with that one.
Okay.
Subject of the time that we probably allotted.
15 minutes.
And that's important and
yes.
That's crucial for our area.
Yes, and I know that Councillor Torgerson came up with quite a few good ideas, but I said they have to go through the North Central Local Government Association first as a resolution from council. Yes.
I also think that there are a number of issues that the current government is reviewing in terms of transportation everywhere. And obviously, yesterday, the new one that landed on their plate with Greyhound's announcement of shutting down all over Western yes. Canada is yes. going to make them go back to the table. So they've got a lot of issues that they need to deal with and look at and rethink.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know if I think probably the next council meeting we can just approve of the MOE and what Councillor Blanchette is going to bring forward. We can just approve at the following council meeting.
You may, or you can direct staff to arrange.
For now we have Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure and Minister of Environment, and Councillor Blanchette will bring another one forward.
That was Energy.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Ministry, yeah.
I had
energy.
also mentioned Ministry of Environment regarding air quality and tying in with hydro, but I think yes. we can mention our air quality issues
at the same time,
that we're discussing
yes.
hydro.
And as I say, Councillor Torgerson had quite a few suggestions, very good suggestions, well thought out, but they have to go through NCLGA first. We can only take what is specific to Valemount.
Well, I think...
Yes, go ahead.
Your Worship, I think for dealing with air quality issues yes. at the same time, yes. we can bring up venting index instrumentation.
Yes.
That's my biggest push there.
Yeah,
good. Okay.
That's where I was going to.
Okay, so we'll just do MOTI, Ministry of Energy, at this time. Okay, yes, Councillor Salt.
Did you want to mention at all the Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General, or in case we do go that?
Tentatively at this time, and it's Councillor Salt's suggestion, is that we meet with the Attorney General, Solicitor as well?
Solicitor General.
Yes, and this is with respect to human trafficking. But I just thought that perhaps we should wait and speak with Ms. Kathy Peters, because I know that there are many other municipalities in the province that are also very concerned about child and female trafficking going on in their municipalities. So maybe we will all go together.
Yeah.
But
So
let's
I'll
find
say-
out.
I just wanted to mention it,
Yes.
so if we needed it for in the
Yes.
resolution, and if it turns out that we don't need to do this,
Okay.
like if you find out by Friday, then we can just scrap it off the request list.
You've got that noted. Okay, so is there any further discussion under this? We have a mover and a shaker. Okay, Blanchette and Salt. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Reading file, is there anything that council wishes to bring forward from the reading file? Yes, Councillor Blanchette?
I'd like to acknowledge Crooked Creek closing. It's congratulations to them, to Sylvia and to Christine. They did a great job. I know I visit there every year, so it's a little bit sad that they're closing, but congratulations to a successful business in 20 years.
Okay. Yes, Councillor Torgerson?
Ditto with Councillor Blanchette, wishing the best for Mrs. Pelche and Mrs. Malik. Also, I'd like to thank past President Sandy Salt for forwarding the resolutions brought forward from TCYHA.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Thank you. And I don't think we need any motions for any of that. Okay. So agenda item 8.1, accounts payable June 2018, recommendation that the June 2018 accounts payable report be received. Torgerson and Salt. Any discussion on receipt? All in favor? Carried. Agenda item 8.2, Valemount Sports Day Committee request. Recommendation that this report be received. Torgerson and Blanchette. Any discussion under receipt? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. The next recommendation is that staff be directed to advertise a request for quotes for upgrades to be completed on the beer gardens and concession located at the Valemount Sportsplex. Okay, Salt and Blanchette. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. The next recommendation is that staff be directed to secure funding from the Valemount Sports Day Committee.
Just a question.
Yes.
Your Worship. Was there an or supposed to be in there?
Yes.
Or that staff be secured to secure funding, or that staff be directed to
Directed.
complete the, okay.
Yes, Ms. Shepherd.
I don't believe so.
These are three recommendations from staff, Your Worship?
Obviously.
Okay.
Yes. And it is subject to securing funding from the Valemount. So what is council's wish?
Yeah.
Yes, Councillor Torgerson?
Yeah, should that the request for quotes for the upgrades be completed and that funding can be secured, absolutely.
And my thought at this time is that perhaps there could be an application by the sports committee, because they're very busy and they do a lot of work and a lot of benefit for Valemount that a lot of people enjoy, perhaps apply to the community initiatives CBT funding next call out. Okay, and so perhaps council would like to include that in the third recommendation. You would make the amendment? Okay. Could I have a seconder for that amendment, please? Moved by Councillor Blanchette and seconded by Councillor Torgerson, that it be suggested to... What?
We deal with recommendation number 2?
Yes, I've got it checked off.
Don't recall.
Approve staff to secure funding, is that the one from the Valemount Sports Day Committee?
That staff be directed to secure funding. I don't recall that we...
Yes.
Sorry, that's recommendation number 3. So we did complete recommendation number 2, advertise a request for quotes.
That was...
Number 1 is to receive.
Receive report.
Sorry, number 3.
Oh, sorry, there's,
Yeah, some of the numbering.
Oh, so you're talking about number 3, not number 2.
Number 3. That staff be directed to secure funding from the Valemount Sports Day Committee.
That's right. Okay.
That's the one. And we were talking
Yeah.
about the,
Okay. And you were mentioning number 2, we already did 1
Sorry.
and 2, and now we're on number 3.
Sorry.
All right. So, we do have mover and shaker on that number 3, don't we?
On number 3,
Yes?
no, we do not, but we are amending it now to suggest that there's.
That's right, that's right. So the amendment is,
We're
yeah.
just doing that.
that's right. So we're not finished with number 3,
just
please.
question. The amendment for the CBT funding, would that not be better suited for number 4?
No? Why would it?
As a recommendation for a place to secure funding? Because it
It says,
mentions securing funding.
please, we're dealing with number 3, okay? All right. So the amendment proposed or moved by Councillor Blanchette, seconded by Councillor Torgerson, is that staff be directed to secure funding from the Valemount Sports Day Committee. However, before funding can be secured, the amendment is that it be suggested or recommended to them that they apply for the community initiatives in the next call. Yes, in January. Okay. So is there any further discussion on that one? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Okay, so now the motion that staff be directed to secure funding from the Valemount Sports Day Committee as amended. Torgerson and Blanchette. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Now, recommendation number 4 is that staff be directed to complete the upgrades to the beer gardens and concession at the Sportsplex, subject to securing funding from the Valemount Sports Day Committee. Torgerson and Blanchette. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Okay, agenda item 10.1, council reports. And I'll start again, this time with Councillor Torgerson.
She keeps stirring it up on us.
Button hooked me right there. Thank you, Worship. On the 28th, I was here for a special meeting of council. On the 5th, I attended the community barbecue and the unveiling of the train wreck tragedy signage at Camp Creek. On the 9th, just yesterday, I was at a terrific meeting of the board at the Valemount Community Forest, and I'm here before you now.
Thank you, Councillor Torgerson. Councillor Salt.
Also, on the 28th of June, I attended a special council meeting. On June 30th, I attended the Walk for Scleroderma.
Nice.
Very good turnout there. On the 5th, the community barbecue and the Canoe River train wreck sign unveiling. I attended those as well. And I'm here before you this evening.
Thank you. Councillor Reimer.
June 28th, special meeting with the 4 of us. Good that you were enjoying your time away. Canada Day, July 1st. Actually had fun joining Paul Johnson at the museum, doing hot dogs and for everybody, and cake and ice cream, and we ran out of cake and had extra ice cream. And thanks to all the volunteers for putting on a good time at that venue. Very well done, and it was a really good turnout. I'm sure that we almost had it. We probably had more this year than last year, I believe. Because the cake disappeared, and we had extra cake last year, so.
And I think Ms. Bond and I cut maybe bigger pieces this year.
Generosity is flowing.
So we'll take the blame.
And then Thursday, of course, the barbecue, the park, and the unveiling of the of the train wreck down at Canoe. And yesterday afternoon, VCF meeting. That's mine.
Thank you. Councillor Blanchette?
Well, I missed a lot, I guess, being away on holidays. The only thing I have to report is today I got to go to the grand reopening of the V-Crew Youth Group. They're in the basement of the curling rink. They've got a great space there. 30 to 50 people came over the course of the afternoon. I just want to remind everybody to keep the youth group on their radar. It's a good group of people, really hard workers in Darren Sparks and Gail Burbage, and it's something that the community really needs, and they need to keep it. So just everybody, if they can keep it in their radar, if you're throwing out something, check with them, see if they could use something. If you've got extra cash floating around, throw it their way, you know. So that's all I have.
Thank you. And we hear that you had a very good vacation in Victoria.
I loved it.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So also with respect to the special council meeting of the 28th, and on June the 29th, I attended the Legion Veterans Dinner. They had a dinner to honor the veterans, and there were many there, and it was a very special event. On July 1st, there was the celebration at the Museum of Canada Day, and then again at the sports grounds that evening. And so Ms. Bond and I were cutting cake more than once that day. And then on July 5, the barbecue, Valemount Community Forest, which was again a resounding success, and we really appreciate, and so does everybody that came. They had a lot of people attending, and they really appreciate the time to get together and just visit. And somebody else is doing all the cooking. So, and also the unveiling, the stop of interest sign unveiling that is commemorating the 4 rail engineers, I believe, and 17 soldiers of the 2nd Regiment Royal Canadian Horse Artillery that were en route to the Korean War. And there is a mention on the sign that the one engineer had been charged with manslaughter, and John G. Diefenbaker defended him and was able to get him released and found not guilty. And so I did suggest to the Ministry of Transportation staff person that was there, they comment there about, and then, sorry, they also said on the sign that he subsequently became the Prime Minister of Canada. And so Mount John G. Diefenbaker is just across the highway. And I think you pointed it out to me, Councillor Torgerson, they'd have to cut down a couple of trees, wouldn't they?
Just a couple.
Yes,
But
yeah.
there's a new woodlot up there.
Yeah, and so it would be interesting to have another little sign just saying there's Mount John G. Diefenbaker over there. Yes. Okay, so thank you. And I'll take a motion, please, that the verbal reports provided by Mayor Townsend and Councillors Blanchette, Reimer, Salt, and Torgerson be received. Okay, Blanchette and Reimer. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 12.1, project file tracker. Recommendation that the project file tracker be received. Councillor Salt and Torgerson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. And public comment. Any comment from the public this evening? Okay, hearing none. We'll go on to 15.1. Notice to proceed in camera, that council proceed to an in-camera council meeting for consideration of one item per section 91K of the Community Charter to discuss matters related to K, negotiations and related discussions respecting the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages and that, in the view of the council, could reasonably be expected to harm the interests of the municipality if they were held in public. Motion, please. Torgerson and Salt. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. So there we go, 7:20.